Let's get back to Nike though. I gotta ask some questions because I'm such a huge sneaker fan. You said that you're wearing the new kicks coming up this season.
Yeah.
I honestly, for everyone that doesn't know like the process that goes into like making the sneakers, like how long in advance has it been, or like when does it all start? Do they come to you with a shoe, a bunch of shoes? You kind of get to tweak them here and there. How is that process?
Every kid dreams of being a Nike athlete. That's what Caitlin Clark said when she turned down bigger, faster deals from Adidas and Under Armour. But here's the thing. 18 months later, we still don't have her shoe. We don't even have her official logo. So, did the biggest name in women's basketball just make the biggest business mistake of her career? Or is this all part of a master plan that we're not seeing yet? Stick around, because what I'm about to tell you changes everything about how we should view athlete endorsements in 2025.
Yeah, I think it's honestly been like probably one of the coolest things I've got to do since, honestly, the process started at the end of my senior year when I was at Iowa, because I was deciding what shoe company I was going to go with, and I talked to Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, and they all offered me a signature shoe, obviously some faster than others, and you know, everybody knows Nike makes the best product. It just kind of takes a little bit longer. And so I grew up wanting to be a Nike athlete. Every kid does.
Oh,
Nike,
yeah.
Jordan, like that's the premier brand, and everybody knows.
But first, let me tell you how we got here. April 2024. Caitlin Clark is wrapping up her senior year at Iowa. And she's not just the best player in women's college basketball. She's a cultural phenomenon. Her games are drawing bigger audiences than NBA games. She just broke Pete Maravich's all-time college scoring record. She's led Iowa to back-to-back national championship appearances. And 3 companies are fighting over her: Nike, Adidas, Under Armour. And here's what's crazy. All 3 offered her a signature shoe deal. Not just an endorsement, a signature shoe. That's unprecedented for a WNBA rookie. Think about that. Most WNBA players would kill for any endorsement.
Custom Kobe's, yeah.
Oh yeah, the custom Kobe's are fine. I sent like Harry and some of your friends some. They're like, how do we get the? I was like, I got you. But no, I mean, it's probably been like a year and a half now of like figuring out what exactly I want. And I think probably the most challenging part of it is like you want it to be unique, but at the same time, like I have to be comfortable wearing it. So I think you kind of take what you know you're comfortable in. Like obviously I play in a lot of Kobe's, but at the same time, I don't want it to be a Kobe. I want it to be something very, very unique to me and a little bit different. And
Caitlin Clark had 3 companies offering to build an entire shoe line around her before she'd even played a professional game. Under Armour wanted her badly, so badly that Steph Curry, their biggest basketball star, was reportedly furious when they didn't land her. And that makes sense, right? Curry sees himself in her game. The logo threes, the deep range, the ability to take over with shooting. Under Armour could have built their entire women's basketball division around her, and they could have moved fast. Adidas? They've been losing ground in basketball for years. Landing Caitlin would have been a statement signing. They likely came with aggressive terms, faster timelines, serious creative control. But she chose Nike. And on the New Heights podcast with Travis and Jason Kelsey, she explained why in one sentence, "I grew up wanting to be a Nike athlete. Every kid does. Nike Jordan. That's the premier brand." Now here's where it gets interesting. Caitlin admits that Nike makes the best product, but it takes longer. And she wasn't lying. It's been a year and a half now, 18 months, and fans are still waiting. Meanwhile, she's been working on the design. She wants it to be unique, but comfortable. She plays in Kobe's, but she doesn't want her shoe to just be a Kobe replica. Smart. She's thinking about colorways, collaborations, limited
myself
releases.
Like, you know, I kind of think about like what's kind of been important to me when I think about like shoes or sneakers, and I think like just the chaseability of them, and like you want a certain sneaker or like you want a certain colorway. So I think that's like going to be probably the most fun part. Like, okay, great. Like you have like the mold of the shoe and like what it is and the technology that's in it. But more so, I think I'm more excited about like making the certain colorways or collabing with certain brands or whatever it is. I know I definitely got the Chiefs colorway on the way or PE or something. Maybe we can get Andy Reid to like coach.
She's even promised a Chiefs colorway for Travis Kelce. But here's the problem nobody's talking about. LeBron James got his first signature shoe within his first year in the league. That was 2003, the Air Zoom generation. It became iconic because it captured a specific moment in his journey. Caitlin Clark just had the most-watched rookie season in WNBA history. The Fever averaged over 1.1 million viewers per nationally televised game, more than 16 NBA teams. She drove a 70% increase in WNBA League Pass subscriptions. She sold out arenas across the league, and Nike still didn't have product ready to capitalize on that moment.
At some point or something.
Are you kidding me? You
or we can turn it into a cleat, or we get something like that.
Oh,
but
listen, you're speaking to me now. I'm game. It's so cool because a lot of like you're doing exactly what like I've always dreamed of doing in terms, because everybody that plays a sport or definitely is a hooper like dreams of having a signature shoe. Like it is the coolest shit ever. But I remember LeBron came out with his first signature shoe, and it was like he had this Hummer in high school, the notorious Hummer, and he kind of like shaped or like made the shoes kind of resemble a Hummer's like look and model and everything like that. Like when it comes down to like it being true to you, I can't wait to see exactly what this thing looks like, and you already know I'll be the first one in line to get them.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be cool. And
okay,
compare that to Zion Williamson. Nike had the Zion 1 ready within his first full healthy season. They understood the urgency of capturing cultural momentum while it exists. But with Caitlin, they're taking their time, operating on their own schedule, seemingly unconcerned that her peak marketability window might be
and
right
a little
now.
New Year's Eve surprise is on the New Heights podcast with Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. Now, we all know she's a massive fan of Taylor Swift, of whom that, of course, Travis Kelce's going to marry. And she's a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. Not surprising, she's going on New Heights. But while she was on there, of course, and I have a suspicion multiple videos are coming out of this podcast episode, but she decided to explain her decision to go with Nike.
And it gets worse. There might not be a WNBA season in 2025. The collective bargaining agreement expires in October 2025, and players are already talking about opting out early. If the league goes into a lockout or work stoppage, Nike's entire launch strategy collapses. They've had since April 2024 to get this shoe to market, and they're cutting it dangerously close. But here's what Caitlin's doing while she waits. She's staying visible. She went on New Heights, one of the biggest sports podcasts in the world, right after New Year's. She's talking to Travis Kelce, who's dating Taylor Swift. And Caitlin is a massive Taylor Swift fan, which creates another layer of cultural crossover appeal. This is smart brand management from her end. The question is whether Nike is doing equally smart brand management on their end, or whether they're squandering the platform she's building for them. Because here's what she's really betting on, that Nike will eventually move her into the Jordan brand family. Not just a Nike signature shoe, but a Jordan signature shoe. That's the level of cultural relevance she's aiming for. If Nike delivers on that, if they position her as the women's basketball equivalent of Michael Jordan himself, then waiting 18 months makes sense. But if they don't, if they fumble this launch, let's talk about what she turned down. Under Armour could have made her the centerpiece of their entire women's sports strategy. She could have been their signature women's basketball athlete, with Steph Curry championing her from day one. They could have moved faster, gotten her shoe to market by her rookie season, and capitalized on her historic viewership numbers immediately. Adidas could have given her aggressive terms, significant creative control, and made her the face of their basketball resurgence. She could have negotiated for more ethical supply chain practices, distanced herself from Nike's controversial China connections. Instead, she chose brand prestige over business urgency. She chose childhood dreams over strategic positioning, and the clock is ticking. So here's my take. Caitlin Clark made a bet. She bet that Nike's brand power and cultural relevance outweigh any potential controversy or delay. She bet that when her shoe finally drops, it'll be positioned at the Jordan level, and it'll become part of basketball culture for decades. That's not a crazy bet. Nike has the infrastructure, the cultural cash, the distribution network to make that happen, but they also have a track record of not quite understanding women's sports the way they should, of moving slower, investing less aggressively, and treating women athletes as secondary priorities. The real test comes when the shoe actually launches. The marketing needs to be massive. The distribution needs to be widespread. The product needs to be revolutionary. And most importantly, the shoe needs to capture who Caitlin Clark is, the shooter who changed women's basketball, who brought unprecedented attention to the WNBA, who made casual sports fans care. If Nike delivers, Caitlin's decision will look brilliant in hindsight. If they fumble this, she'll have passed up faster, more lucrative deals for nothing. She'll have missed her peak marketability window. Ask me again in 6 months when we see what they actually deliver. Because right now, 18 months in, all we have is a promise and a lot of waiting. And in sports marketing, momentum delayed is often momentum lost. What do you think? Drop your take in the comments. And hit subscribe because we're tracking this launch closely. I'll see you in the next one.